All right, this will be a heavily recorded call. I got lots of messages coming in from people that have stuff set up on their Monday, which is a good thing. This is the On Purpose group. So congratulations, you guys. This tonight kind of caps off our last 2 months of having this kind of group all circled up together, and I want to say it's been a great 2 months. Looking at it from my vantage point, it's been really exciting. We've grown consistently every single month. This month alone, we have the highest amount of new coaches in our group. We've actually already surpassed last month, which is not about numbers. It's about people, real people changing lives. Like Leanne's story, we talked about you, and you kind of shared, how much you're down total, and that doesn't even encompass your entire story. It's talking about people like that joining our Take Shape for Life family and the work that we're doing. So I just think it's really cool. And so basically we got convention in a little bit, about 2.5 weeks, like on the dot. So I like to round down because I'm so excited for it. Like 2 weeks, like we're going to be in convention. So excited. Anyone excited for a convention right there? Yeah, woo. All right. It's super good. But, tonight so this basically will kind of suspend this fully integrated business coach call for the next little bit until we regroup on whatever it is we decide to do. But I want to point out, it's been a really good 2 months. So just a few different things. We've raised up a lot of our level of thought. And I've seen a lot of you guys personally grown on here. I've really enjoyed a lot of the leaders and the different people that have spoke on this call and the different things that we've been able to plug into by just being part of this community. Great people raise up great people. And I don't know, anyone here been just inspired by something, some thought process by someone else on the call? Hearing other people talking on a leadership call just raises our level of thought. It's oh my gosh, that could be more. I could be more. It's just so powerful. So we've had a lot of new executive directors, regional directors, and fully integrated business coaches. And this month's not even over yet. So we're not even into our second full month since this has gotten started. And we have a lot of fun things in the work too. Let's see here. The average coach, I totaled it up and it was rough math. So I'm not an exact, I am analytical, but I'm not exact for those that know me. The average person in this group sponsored 2+ people in their team since we got started, which was pretty powerful too, because thinking about, all these stories, we all start off as just someone that wants to help some people. So us duplicating ourselves is powerful. Tons of people have earned a free registration for convention. I think we're tracking for 60 people plus. So I see a bunch of people on here that are looking to do that. So congrats to you guys. And all that other great stuff. Plus, we learned a lot of comprehensive stuff. So we went over some healthy finances, which I always really enjoy that topic. We went over healthy goal setting, which Susan, that was your topic to start off this month, which was really powerful. I got a lot from it myself. And just a lot of tools about our compensation and how that all works, because knowledge is power, and it's about learning our craft and moving forward and how we can help others more and more. So let's see here. The average person in this group. So we've had 30+ new executive directors since the new year. So the average new executive director here is making somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500 a month on average each month, which I think is really powerful when we think about it. Because getting perspective and getting mentorship is always one of the most important things you can do. Is when you really think about this, because what we do, we don't do it for the paycheck. But but let's talk about the paycheck for a second. What we do per hour and what we get paid for is pretty phenomenal. Most people are doing this part-time or start off part-time or do this just to help a few people. I think the average people where we've had to check some people on some kind of perspective, they were wow, I'm kind of making $150 an hour. I don't know if my other career pays me that much. I don't know if I've ever got paid that much in any other career. Anyone else here get paid $150, $200, $100 an hour anywhere? No, yes, no, yes, no. Susan, did you as a dental hygienist? No. Probably. Casey, did you make that much money? Personal training? No. Even owning your own gym? No, definitely not as owning your own gym. But I think that's really cool. And that's the kind of perspective we look at, because we always are authentically sharing what it is that we have for other people. So that's really good. But let's drop the dollars per hour, because that's not what matters. It's what we're doing to assist people. And I want you guys to all think back about what you guys have done and the lives you've changed, because that's really the most powerful thing. Empathetic coaching and really making an impact and doing it while we're, making an income that, betters our lives. So we've done all that since we got started with this, kind of have a better understanding of all those things. Not to mention our systems for starting coaches have been really simple. So we've sponsored the average 2. I didn't look up the percentage on, advancements and whatnot, but I've seen it. I know how many people have gotten started the last 2 months and already making gains in there and joining our family and helping people, which has been very fantastic. A lot of those people that have gotten started in the last few months are already joining us at convention with free registration, which is very cool. So these are just all the progressions that we've made. Let's see here. We're getting ready also to finish off probably one of our best months that we've ever had. And head into convention. So this is what this call is all about. So what I want you guys to encourage, because what we're learning here for you guys that are stepping up here, and we have a wide range of people on this line. Don't forget, we have brand new executive directors all the way to people that have, large global director businesses. So a lot of this is a reminder of, the basics that help us help more people. And some of us, we're learning the basics of what we have in our hands because you're like, woohoo, party. Like I just made this, like the qualifications for this call. Let's do it. So what you want to ideally do is one, I'll preface all this because anytime I give business information, never forget that this is about helping people and this is about our own health and this is about community more than it ever is about a business. And if you ever catch yourself feeling businessy, I want you to throw your hands up and be like, whoa, time out. Whoa, why did we get this serious on this real quick? Because if we're not having fun, we're doing this wrong. But this is just a really good thing. So if you're learning something, if you're one of those new executive directors since the new year, the best way to look at your business, Susan knocked it out of the park on the last call. Basically, how do I look at my month? How do I set things up? What am I envisioning? What am I doing? Because you don't have to be amazing to start. You just have to get started and amazing things happen. So, one, how do we kick off our month? And then halfway through the month, are you taking time? Is it in your schedule to take a look at, hey, what are my goals? Where was I looking to do things? How am I doing on this? How are things shaping up? Are you putting on your CEO hat and looking at your business like a business, but also not forgetting that it's a mission, not a business? So that's the thing that I want to encourage you guys things to do right now. So how is your frontline volume today? How many B-Slims do you have left? How is your team doing? How are they doing on their goals, what they want? Not their numbers, mind you, their goals and what they want to be doing. Are you reaching out and helping them and making them do that? And if you even have this, have you put it in your schedule to be like, boom, time to look at my business. What am I doing? Am I accomplishing what I want to be creating? And do you have a mission of what it is you want to be creating? Every single month, I write down what it is that I want to be cultivating in an environment and creating for people and why I do this. And then I work backwards from there and set goals because you can't accomplish things without goals. So this is a really good time to do this. And if you're new to this executive director level, man, put that on there. Put that list of things to do in there. Are you accomplishing it? Are you halfway through the month and being like, wow, some life happened. I really want to, I started out, my goal was to work the first half of the month harder than I worked this back half of last month. But some life happened. No big deal. We're still helping people. It's not about what you do in a day. It's about what you do over time that moves it forward. So that's my reminder for you guys today. So to look at that. And if you guys can do one thing I really want partnership in creating a culture, and it starts with you leaders and it starts down with the people that we bring on, is one, never make this business too serious. But two, are you cultivating the culture of where you do this, have this in your schedule, and are sending in your goals and recapping, am I making gains on what it is that I want to create, and emailing your support team, because your team will do what you do. And every single month I make those and I email those off. And every mid-month I take some looks, I connect with people, see where I can help. And then I mail mine off again to my support team. And mind you, these goals are not for your support team to say, hey, what are you doing? Are you doing the work? It's to say, hey, this is what I've been working on. It's more for you than it is for your team. And that, Susan, I still crack up to think about the first time we did this. You were like, I'm super glad you asked me to do this because I really want to do this anyways. And I really see a lot of the places where I was doing on things and I wanted to work on them. So thanks. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly the way you want to do it. It's not because we want your goals. It's because, it's for you, not for us. So that's where we're at. We're, 2/3 of the way through the month right now. Have you done that and have you looked at that yet? And we're all at different parts of our business. Remember that it's not copy paste. Everyone's business is going to be different than somebody else's. Different does not mean better or worse, mind you. We all just have to be very dialed into what it is we're doing. This is another leadership thing at this level, is to remember that if you're looking at what other people are doing, you're not focusing on what you want to be doing. So remember that. Never compare. Only be inspired by other people's work, never comparing what you're not doing well enough. So that's mid-month or 2/3 of the way month insight. So this last call that we wanted to kind of wrangle people up, and we'll reconvene on another format, but more to congratulate, is I wanted to recap the things that we've learned through this process, which I just kind of recovered a lot of them, which was more mentality, but is keeping your business simple. So don't forget to kiss your business. Kiss your husband, kiss your wife, kiss your business in a different way. You want to keep it super simple. So when you're looking at those goals that I talked about, I want to remind you of these things. And if you want to write these down and just remember that how simple it is, how we can change the world is this simple, is number one, and never forget this, know your mission and why you do what you do. If you don't know why you do what you do and can't go back to it daily, because by the way, mind you, especially for those ADD people, which most people that join us in health coaching are ADD because we're the best, we're the awesome, and we get distracted. What is that? Oh, sorry, that's something shiny over there. Is why you do what you do and why you're excited to do it. And if you ever lose grasp of that, that's when our poopiness can come in sometimes. And you know what? Poopiness comes in. Let it happen. You know what? We all grow through stretching ourselves. So, but I want to remind you to write that down. That's how you start. The number two is 5 and 1. You know, it might be your pace. You might be choosing to overshoot that pace. You might be shooting to undershoot that pace. But our whole business and people that changed the world did 5 and 1. They did it for their health, and they moved their health forward, and they moved to the next iteration, and then they 5 and 1 their business. How many people are you helping? And not getting clients. Who are you focusing on? Who are you creating clients? You know, how are you cultivating a culture of your client base? And who are you developing? Who is moving forward and raising up their hand to become awesome coaches like everyone here on this line? 5 and 1 is the second step of your business always. And you want to ask yourself, what am I doing to move that forward? Not in a pressure way, but in a creative way. And then number 3 is 3-way phone calls. Support your partnership changes this business, and it's magical. So, you know, basically another thing, if you're just kind of asking yourself for little check marks, how many 3-way phone calls have you done this week? How many have you done this month? Who have you connected with? Who have you connected on a trilogy phone call? Who have you connected with your support team? What client did you need help with that you connected with your support team? Do not do this by yourself. And it's not because you guys aren't all super awesome, because I can see, you know, Brooke, Amber, Jessica, you know, Christina, all the awesome people on this line, Don and everywhere. I can list all of you. You are awesome enough, but you are not as awesome as you are when you grab another awesome person and be awesome together. It's a whole awesome sauce of awesomeness, and you don't want to forget that. So 3-way phone calls, write that down. If you're not doing them, if you're not doing things that move people forward, that help them break through, then you're not moving your business forward. And it's not about moving a business forward. It's about moving a mission forward, changing lives forward. So, you know, if you're sitting on your butt watching the back office in motion, you're not moving anybody forward in your business. So, you know, 3-way phone calls, grab somebody, get connected, move them forward. Then the last thing would be bring them into your support team and plug them in. So plug them into Facebook group, plug them into trainings, plug them into events, plug them into, like, there's a thing next month in like Southeast United States. Orlando National Convention. Yeah, who's coming with you to convention? And what I'll say on that real quick is Brian Brollinger is having an awesome drawing, which we're all entered in. This is part of how cool our support team is. So when we already had the scholarship drawing, which was really cool, Brian Brollinger is doing a drawing for a free convention for anyone who is already registered. But also, so this is more for your team. I know you guys are all registered. Yes, of course, would be here and you go in a convention, obviously. Duh. Come on, Brad, you know, get it together. All these people are going to convention, obviously. And a lot of people are going for their first time, so congrats. But more importantly, are all your team registered? And if you are bringing 5 legs to convention with you and you email Brian Brollinger, you are also entered for a registration for yourself and for 5 legs of your team. So for a few of those people, like, you know, there's a big chunk of you that are qualified for that, make sure you email Brian Brollinger. That's your reminder. So I'm going to wrap up tonight. This is really all I had tonight. It's just kind of a recap for all the awesome stuff. Plus, never forget that one of the most amazing tools you have with helping people is showing them how much progress they make. People will focus on the negative rather than focus on the positive. So it's really good to keep track of what you're doing well and how far you've come and what you're creating, as well as the people you work with, clients, coaches, and honestly, everyone in your life in between. So with that being said, if you're not focusing on having fun and focusing on people, we're really missing the whole point of our mission. And this is a mission. So with that being said, you know, we have a really awesome convention coming up, and to kind of prep you guys, your top level, your big thinkers that are here and growing and helping more people and growing your ripple effect, I wanted to give you guys some prep on what to expect for National Convention, and also some last minute info that you can bring to the people that are maybe on the fence. So this is actually where I'm going to turn it over to Susan, because Susan actually got to have some time with David Blanchard, the original empathetic coach, who's going to be coaching at a convention, because we're not about sales. We're not about all this stuff. We are about action and making a difference. And one of those great balance, you know, I'm not even doing it justice to what I'm talking about tonight, because David Blanchard is going to teach us this at convention. So some prep on convention. Susan, would you kind of give us some insight about that and National Convention, and just, you know, whatever you want to say as we finish up tonight?
All right. Well, Thank you, Brad, first of all, and thank all of you guys. I don't have anything like prepared, like written down, prepared for you guys tonight. But well, first of all, so Shane and I have been coaching you guys for 5 years, and it's never like I felt like I've known it all. Okay, I've never come to that stage, but sure, I felt like, where do I grow from here? Like, what's that next? What's that next thing I desire to learn, want to learn, and I took a leap of faith. So I don't know how many of you have started Dave Blanchard's book. I know Brad's recommended some great books, and I've read the 5 Levels of Leadership, Good to Great, a lot of the ones he's recommended. And I always, how many here are like reading a personal growth book? Everybody do? Okay. I mean, that's awesome. Okay. So just kudos to you guys, because we talk a lot about, the healthy body, and we talk about the healthy finances, and the healthy mind is honestly, that's a personal responsibility choice. Like you're going to take some initiative in that area. Cause when you're doing the assessment with someone and they're low in some areas, how do you help people in that way? Well, I feel like you got to step up to the plate and decide like, hey, I'm going to desire for personal growth, like kind of step into that uncomfortable space. And I've always read books, and Shane, I feel like I can see you, I'm going for the bullet points. I'm looking for like, where's the meat? Where's like, what do I need? What are my pearls to take away so I can go get back into action? Okay. That's kind of how I function. I have actually been reading this book for 3 weeks, and I'm not even halfway through yet, which is so not my style, meaning that, so this is his book, you guys, and it's not a quick read. And it's not a book. It's like a self-study. There's so much reflection and so much and I'll be honest, when I heard it didn't come on audio, I was bummed. I was like, I'll just wait till he does an audio, because I kind of only do audio. And then I realized I'm so glad I had to have the book, because there's so much that I had to read like 5 times, and I'm like, it hit me like bricks, you guys, like bricks. I've never felt that way about a book. Shane, have I not just like, he's just heard me raving, which made me really intrigued to meet this guy. Like, I've never felt so compelled to be like, I need to meet this guy. And I had questions for him, and questions about where I'm at personally. So all I know is he gave me just a small tasting. I had like a 2-hour one-on-one Zoom with him last week, and a small tasting of what we're all going to have at convention. And I'll just say that in those 2 hours, I haven't even been able to fully put it into words yet. But it's kind of like, he literally did like a fundamental shift in me of like why I'm here. And it's crazy, because he really got me back to like why I even started this in the first place. And so, Brad, you'd mentioned like never lose who you are and never lose why you got started. And do you guys all remember, like, sorry, I'm going to totally get emotional, because it's crazy how connected in just like through just, I mean, like I said, 5 years, you guys, and I'm still raw about like what we're actually doing, and this amazing gift that we have. And Shane and I were out and about this weekend, just in our city, and I was just sitting, and it's like I could hear how tortured people were, like all around me. And it's like, you guys, we have just this huge gift and calling for people it's so easy to lose sight of it the further we get into like the numbers and the titles and the pins and the ranks, like of, I can do this and tweak this, and I can do a little bit more action. And those of you that work with me personally know that, if someone had a philosophy of like, more activity is the solution. But if there's no, what's the word? If there's no intrinsic value there, the activity is like of no value. And so really, everyone that comes, I feel David's going to be able to get to the core, and it's going to be different for all of us. And I'm so excited about that core of like, why are we here? And what are we doing? It shifts your whole day. Like, you guys are on this call, hopefully not out of obligation and not because we told you to be here, but it's in alignment with of your mission, of what you're looking to create and the community you desire to be a part of. And so, Brad, I was excited about this call, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. Maybe there's some weeks this has been just out of obligation. Like, oh, there's an ED call tonight, and I'm supposed to be on that. And I don't have that right now at all. And there's freedom in that. And I'm excited for you guys we can all do this together. This is an exciting time to be part of Take Shape for Life. And, I think back just to, I'm looking at you, Casey, too. Like, my first event, I roomed with Candy and Casey Mitchell and like this hillside of, and gosh, just like my dreams were big and I didn't know anything like about the business. And we just had fun and laughed our way through that whole just event. And just, I'm excited to be back to just that, like it's not all this other stuff. So, there's a part in the book that, when I feel David's I asked him a little what he's going to speak to, and on mental creation, and Dr. A uses creative process, right? And David uses mental creation, and they're relatively synonymous, but explained in different ways. And sometimes when you hear it differently, it all of a sudden makes sense. And so I understand Dave's explanation of mental creation, and it's like pages. It's like 152 or something, 150, 152. So if you have the book 152 to 154 on mental creation, and you can go through the exercise yourself, and he lays out some principles. So I'll just tell you what he left me with that day. For me to write a mission statement for my life. Crazy that I don't have one, right? You guys are probably thinking I had it all together. Well, guess what? Wrong. You're so wrong. Brad's like, oh my gosh, make her stop.
No, I'm like, keep going. This is awesome.
For me to write a mission statement for my life. And all I have right now, you guys, and I have 3 words, and I'm still working on it, but all I have is quiet the noise. Just meaning that, like, there's so many people out there that are just in their heads tortured, and we can help quiet the noise. That's all I have. I'll have more for you later, but that's all I got. He also wanted me to write out the principles that I've learned, and he referenced me to his page 49 in the book. And he said, some of the ones I've learned are going to resonate with you, and you're going to have ones that you're going to learn. Like, what is God teaching you? Like, what are you learning in the process? Like, have you even reflected on that? Well, my answer was no. Guess what? But I'm just going to read you some of the ones he wrote that resonate with me. I can fight, rebel, resist, and even resent what is happening, or I can surrender to what is and focus all of my energy on creating something better. I will live more present in the now, more aware of the sacrifices made by others, especially those made by my sweetheart. May I see the stars in my life without the need for darkness. And then miracles only look like miracles in retrospect. Most likely I am standing in the middle of a miracle right now. Anyways, those are just some of his principles. He had 10. He encouraged me to write out 10. And he said, even if it takes you 6 months, I want you to explore the principles of your life that you've been taught, so that I can, and here's the thing is, we're all learning these. And how often do we get too caught up in the busy? And do you ever just feel like you're running in a squirrel wheel, and we're just caught up in the busy? And we don't ever take the time to really reflect on our life and what we're learning along the way. And I'm grateful for the process. And I'm just telling you, I'm so excited, like pee my pants excited to like go to a convention, that I'm so excited for all of us to collectively experience this together. So, sorry, I did not expect to cry. That was totally weird. Although I've cried a lot over the last week. And, but if you haven't gotten the book and you're not a reader, I'll tell you, like, you kind of need it in book form. Just kind of is how it is. And just go through it slowly. It's not like, oh my gosh, get this done before convention. That's the last thing I'm asking. Like, seriously, read 2 pages and stop and like process it. And then, I just hope we can all get back to just our real selves and having fun and doing what we really love and what we're really called to do. And, I desire to be a better leader for all of you guys on the call, and, be back to a real authentic place. And then, so if you're not at convention, you guys, that's like, I think what we're all going to experience. I think we're going to have a ton of tears, like a ton of tears in a good way.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. Sorry, like total all over the place, but.
So pack Kleenex and pack Depends, because you're going to be crying and peeing your pants at the same time. And actually, Susan, what's really cool, I get the pleasure of working with you on so many levels, but you have we've kind of been cultivating this idea fractionally compared to where you're at now over the last little bit. And because you've always loved people, you've always done that. We've talked about creative process, staying focused, and you've kind of stepped this up over the last little bit, but you've also been taking action, because it's not about having some whimsical mission thing. That doesn't magically change lives. But in the retrospect, tell people a little about what you've been up to this month. I mean, you're always starting coaches. You're always bringing on clients. You're always changing lives. That's your purpose. That's your mission. So you're always doing that. But how is taking action? Because it's not just about action. If you're just taking action to take action, then it can only last so long, guys. Seriously, taking action to take action, that's tough. But taking action with purpose and revisiting your purpose and readjusting your actions towards what you're creating, that's life on another level. So tell a little bit about what you've been creating this month after you figure this out, because you've translated it right into getting some action. Because taking action, sometimes you have to act your way into feeling rather than feel your way into action. Yeah. And so combining what you know with what you've been figuring out and what you do, like, kind of translated into some a really good month. So you want to share any bit of that? I mean, you don't have to go into detail, but like you can just say, or I can just brag on you and say, this is probably one of the most productive months you've ever had.
Yeah. It's, well, thank you. But it's like when your mission changes, like my mission's to serve, and, we can have such competing values of, like I said, whether it's obligation or, what's the word I used? Okay. So for example, and this might resonate with you guys. Dave asked me, what are you resentful about? And you guys all know I have children, like, ta-da, I have children. And it's like, how many of you have ever missed a bedtime? Or maybe right now you're missing bedtime with your kids because you're on this call. Okay. And so he let me just like, he's a third party, right? Like, okay, here's what okay. He's like, so what if I take shape away? How would that feel for you? Like, what did you lose? And it's like, he flipped the coin on me and I got really emotional. I would lose all of you guys. You guys are like my family. And it's like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want that to go away. Like, I love what I do. He's like, so when the call comes up, it's not about like, you can choose to focus on what you choose to focus on, right? Like you can focus on, you can focus on what you're losing, or you can focus on what you're gaining. It's all perspective. And when he was able to flip the coin on me, and I realized like, this is what I want. Well, then it's not even a choice whether I'm getting on the call or I'm doing that call at that time. And then to honor the things that are important in my life. And he said, it's good to be honoring to your children and to your spouse. And it's like, good to take this. So I think just realizing my mission is to serve, and realize that is really what I want. That's why I started this whole thing in the first place. He had me share my whole story of why I got started. Right. And if you guys all just shared, how'd you get started? And if you have people on your team right now that are in that stage of maybe a little resentment or obligation, why did you start to become why did you help that first person? Why did you say yes? Bring them back. And we never want our coaches to lose that. We need to bring them back there often. And if you haven't been back there, it's time for you to go back there. And that's just where I started. So what did I do different? Brad, I know what to do. It's never been how many of you could say that, right? It's like, you know what to do. Maybe I'm just not doing it. So it's never been a matter of like, I didn't know how to teach it. And, like, dang it, people need what we have. And I just went and did what I would ask anyone else to like do that desired to go create. And we have a couple new clients today and a couple new coaches last week, and they're moving forward and we're excited about it. And that's not even to be boast. I mean, it's just getting reconnected to why I'm actually doing this. So it's never been a matter of like, I didn't know what to do. It's like that coach, that client that knows how to do the 501, they just don't do it. It's not like they don't know how to do it. They just got a lot of crap around it, right? And making up excuses. Whatever. And it wasn't I was making up excuses. It's just like, oh, that could be a lot of work, or that might take this, or might that. And you get all this junk, this caca in your head. And until you decide you want to clear the cobwebs, you're probably not going to go do anything different. So, we have seasons, Brad, where I've had to focus on, I'll be honest with you guys, I've had seasons where I've had to focus on my healthy body. Okay. Right. Like, and say, gosh, that's got to be my top priority. I've had seasons of my healthy mind, and that's been a top priority. We have to take care of, Brad, you say it always, like, take care of yourself first. And sometimes we get so caught up on the financial piece. I'll tell you, you are going to rent your life for the rest of your life. Like, you will make more, you will spend more, and you will rent a lifestyle that was never. And one of his principles here that also resonates with me. It says, I was my things. However, wealth and health are transitory. They come and they go. They cannot be the foundation of my happiness, or I will lose my worth every time they're threatened. You can't focus just on the money. If you focus on everything, the people will come. So I think, and it's not like we got caught up in all that, Brad. I just got really recentered to what we were doing, and it was taking a step back to take the time to do that, and to not make it just like on a back burner. Like, yeah, I'll get to that. So if you're in that space, take the time to invest in yourself. And connect with your support team and have these moments, So yeah, that's kind of, sorry, no golden, I don't have the golden ticket here, but Brad, you're muted.
I'm glad you decided to not plan anything, because that was probably the most amazing thing I ever heard. Anyone like that? Good. Know that that's where everyone comes from. No one was born awesome in this. And I geek out on the structure and the like path of what we do, because you don't have to be amazing to do this. You just have to care about people, know what you're doing, and take action towards, in the essence of what it is you're creating and what your mission is. So with that being said, guys, let's go off. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So get connected with your clients. If you're at a point where you're creating your team, go create your team. Go create connections with your team. If you have a team that you're working with and you're still creating the team you're working with, go get connected with them and find out where you can help them at. Not what you can get from them, what you can help them achieve and help them move forward in. And here's just some remembering here as we kind of wrap up on this season of this call and all the great things that we've done over the past 2 months. And the congratulations is, remember that we have our trilogy call next Monday. We've been doing these every 2 weeks. And guys, the people that have been taking the time every couple of weeks to just be like plugging people in, it's been very powerful. Like I said, our highest sponsoring numbers have been up. And again, it's not about getting people to sign up as coaches. It's about having people join our family that want to do what we're doing and paying it forward. the Healthy Games, the next round. We're going to be getting the links out for your whatever team. They're going to be out in the next couple of weeks. So utilize that. Make sure your team's plugged into that. Speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So if you guys want to grab that, get going on that. A lot of us are going to be going to the convention. So I would highly suggest segmenting off your high leverage activities with that and make sure your people that are loving it and the people you want to invite and create clients get an invite for that. We're going to do a simple systems call on Thursday for everyone, just a reshore of our simple systems. And we've had so many new coaches and so many people moving forward that we're going to have that next Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening. So look out for the invitation on that. And the last thing, guys, as you're inspecting of what you're creating, where are you plugging your clients into Facebook worldwide? Do you guys have a client group? Do you personally have one, or does your team have one? You don't have to have your own to be amazing, but Facebook is such a strong community, guys. I want to encourage you. That's actually one of the things we're going to hit on in Simple Systems is client support groups and what you're creating there. What are you talking about there and what the mission is you're creating there. So just as we're bringing on people, it's an inherent nature to plug people into where they feel safe, where they feel like they're creating value. Facebook is a great way to create value. So make sure that that you have one for your team that's vibrant, or where you're plugging yours into, or talk with your support team. So with that being said, guys, congrats on the last 2 months. Super excited about convention, seeing all the people that have earned the registrations that are going to be going. It's going to be powerful. And guys, keep knowing what it is you're doing, keep revisiting it, and keep bringing people into it and changing lives. So with that being said, guys, let's go continue to be on purpose. Inspect where you're at this month and what you can do to move it forward, because I like to talk about numbers a little bit, but it's nothing without knowing our passion, heart, and purpose. But when you focus on numbers, one little extra person here, one little extra person there over 12 months, guys, do you know what that creates? That's a whole difference of between like someone who changes lots of lives over 5 years and someone who changes just a few. So guys, let's be out, be on purpose. Remember who it is we're helping and what it is we're doing. And we'll see you guys all in Orlando. Super excited to see you guys. All right, that being said, good night. Thanks, Susan, for sharing. And thank you guys for the awesome last couple months.
Thanks, Brad.
Bye, guys.
And thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Bye.